Welcome to the Let's Talk BS podcast. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Sofia, and we're coming to you live from the
757, where we discuss real estate,
culture, and current events.
What's going on, Sofia? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I feel like you be laughing a lot. You be laughing at me? What you be laughing at, man?
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
just laughing. I don't
Okay.
know.
I
You
don't
act
know.
like you ain't never heard me laugh before.
I do. I hear you
all the
laugh all the
time, right?
time. That's
See?
why I'm asking. Like, I finally am asking you now, are you laughing at me, or is it just like...
Sometimes it's at you, sometimes it's with you.
Oh, okay. But if I ain't laughing, then that means you laughing at me, right? Because if I'm laughing too, that means you laughing with me. But I ain't laughing.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on?
How's your last week been? No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah, last 2 weeks have been good.
Okay.
Yeah, last 2 weeks have been good, man.
What have you done?
Me think work's been extremely busy.
Yeah.
My kids have been out of school now for a little over a month.
Mm-hmm.
And so first couple weeks of the summer, they were in camps. But the last week and a half, they haven't been in camps. They start another one next week. So I'm looking forward to that because them jokers is getting on my nerves. Just wanting to eat every 5-10 minutes. Wanting me to play basketball, do this, do that, put stuff together, always want me to do those things while I'm working, And so that's, I guess, one of those things where, I typically work from home. Some of these times I'm like, sure, I might just go to the office, But I try to be at the house just because, I'm there, want to spend time with them, but, on my time when I'm ready, not when they're ready. So, so that's been kind of, a thing I've been navigating with the kids being at home. Brooke and I have been just trying to figure out. It feels like it's COVID all over again. Honestly, is what it's been feeling like. But outside of that, my sister, her birthday was last Friday. Shout out to her. So we went over to my parents' house and had like a big dinner, like a potluck dinner at the house. So that was pretty cool. Seeing everybody, playing games, just having a good time. What else? The team, we went on a boat. Was it last week as well? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah,
okay.
I got to drive the boat, y'all.
Yeah. I put out a video of her driving the boat.
Yeah, and, that was cool. I drove it for a while too.
Yeah,
I did good.
Yeah.
I heard
cool.
that they couldn't tell the difference between me driving the boat.
Oh, okay.
And the actual captain.
Okay,
so I mean, I might have a boat soon.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah. It was a good time, man. We've been having, I would say, the last 2 weeks. This week not as much, but the previous 2 weeks has been hot as crap outside. It's been like a heat wave. And so
that day wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was kind of concerned because we've been trying to plan this boat trip for a minute, and it was right in the middle of the heat wave and right in the middle of the day as well. So I was kind of concerned about the heat, but being out there on the water, and this day was kind of a milder out of those days as well. It wasn't as much sun out. It was a little humid, but it was a little windy. So that kind of helped with it. But we had a good time, man. We were tapping into our early 2000s, late 90s with the songs, man, playing the songs. It's funny, to that day, that was, a little over a week ago. I think it was like, Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. Since then, I've been like, literally all the music I've been listening to has been like from that era, in the gym.
So it was funny because when I played, what song did I play? And everybody turned around and was like, who played this?
Yeah.
What song was that?
I can't even remember, man. We went through a whole bunch of songs like where it was just like, oh man, like I would just think back at like when I first heard those songs.
Was it Jeezy? Did I play Jeezy? Was it?
It might have been. It might have been something on from Jeezy.
And I remember everybody looked back and was like, who chose that song?
Yeah. Who chose that song?
The
you were the only girl.
The only girl on the boat.
The only girl. Yeah, the only girl on the boat. Yeah, dropped the hardest track, right? Yeah.
I did. Then we started going track for track.
Yeah.
Who could think of the best
You and B.
track?
Austin was on there most of the time picking out the songs, man. So like I said, that was a really good time, and I know we've been grinding. Everybody's been, getting to it. This is the busy time of the year for us, so. To kind of have like half a day where we just kind of, let our hair down and just relax, man. That was pretty cool, man. I had a really good time.
Yeah, but it seems like when we got off that boat, that heat just said.
Oh yeah, it smacked
We were hot as hell. I remember like walking to the dock and was like, oh my gosh, what just happened? It was like a total different climate. It felt like a different climate change.
Yeah, because I mean it's. A couple of things. Obviously, when you're on the water, you're moving, you know what I mean? So, like, the heat is not concentrated on you like that. But when you're, like you said, walking, and on top of that, when we got off the boat, it was like around like 2:30. And so that's like really the middle of the day, And so, yeah, it was extremely hot, man. I know myself, I have a couple of rental properties, man. Like, the AC even in my own house where like we would have our thermostat set to like 70, yeah, like 70 typically. My thermostat was saying that it was like 78, 79 in the house. And I had a couple of tenants. Yeah, I had a couple of tenants send me pictures. One tenant actually, the unit was actually out, so we had to replace her unit. But the other person, it was just hot. Like he was having the same effect as me, where it just got so hot that the AC just wasn't powerful enough to keep the house cool during like it was normally just like a certain period of time. Yeah, like around that same time we were talking about, like around 3 o'clock to like 6, 7 o'clock once the sun started to kind of pass.
Especially depending on where their house is.
Correct.
That really makes a difference for sure.
Yeah, because for me it's like my house, I have a split unit. So I have a AC unit for upstairs and an AC unit for downstairs. And so downstairs always remain cool, but upstairs, like the front of my house has a lot of windows. And so when that sun it starts to kind of turn that direction around 2 or 3 o'clock, man, it'd be hot as I don't know what upstairs, man.
Yeah, you got to get the blinds, the
blackout ones. Yeah,
the blackout wooden blinds. Yeah, and change them up a little bit.
Yeah, I used to have those in my old house, man. I just did not. I gotta find like some better looking ones, man, because the ones I had, it did a really good job because I had the same issue, but it was the back of my house for my last house, but it didn't look good, like you know what I'm saying. So I think that I just gotta look into that more and see if I can find some that look a little better.
Custom ones too.
Yeah.
Just for those windows,
Yeah.
Especially because it makes a difference for sure.
Yeah.
So you want to hear a crazy story about one of my tenants, right?
Uh-oh.
So yesterday, I'm at home eating my little tuna sandwich, you know, and my tenant called. Now this particular tenant always got something going on, always. So she called me. She's like, Miss Sofia. That's what she called me. Now, she older than me, but she called me Miss Sofia, right?
For sure.
So I'm like,
I think the landlord tenant,
that. In general, right?
Yeah, in general, so it's like a superior to, you know.
She's like, the carbon monoxide detectors keep going off. I said, I remember, I had the phone, I looked at the phone, I said, call 911. What you calling me for? I was like, oh my goodness. So I said, and get out the house. Call 911, get out the house.
Yeah. So was it or is the battery going out on it, or it was actually going off for real?
It was going off. I could hear it in the background.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell if it was fire or carbon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I told her to call 911, get out the house. So immediately I'm trying to eat my sandwich. I'm going to finish the sandwich before I leave the house. So I shoot down to Norfolk. That's where my rental property is. And I'm down the street. And she called me back and she was like, the fire department came. I said, damn, they made it there before me.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Well, I mean, listen, it's a little iffy, you know. Yeah. Things go on all the time, right?
That's true.
So, because I remember calling 911 for somebody who got hit on the road. And 911 put me on hold. Yeah. So
hey, I think I've said
I ain't never heard that before.
No, listen to this. I don't. I'll let you get yours off. Okay.
So I get there, and they did their checks. They saw that they told them that there was no leaking carbon monoxide, and the fire alarms were fine.
Yeah.
So then I get a call back at 5 o'clock, talking about they're going off again. So then I had to have my maintenance guy go install new detectors, even though I had just installed those in March, because this particular tenant is a Section 8 tenant. So there are certain requirements that I have to abide by when I have a Section 8 tenant.
Yeah.
And so I went in there, got all that stuff replaced, and now I'm about to try and take that shit back to Home Depot because it's only been a few months, and they're supposed to be battery-free 10-year carbon monoxide / fire detectors. So. Yeah. We'll see, but I just remember looking at the phone and was like, are you fucking kidding me? Call 911. What you calling the landlord for?
Call Sal, call somebody else. Don't call me. No, I'm with you on that, man. Yeah, that's tough, man. Speaking of what you said as far as the 911, man, I remember I had a crazy incident with my son, man. He's had some stomach issues here and there over the years, and it was one night, man, he woke up talking about his stomach was hurting. I mean, he was it looked crazy. He was screaming, crying uncontrollably, and so Brooke was kind of trying to calm him down. I was trying to calm him down. And then I was like, I'm just going to take him to the hospital because it looked crazy, a situation like that. And so I was like, Brooke's like, well, call 911, whatever. I was like, all right. So I called her and they just won't answer on the phone. It's crazy. They put it kept asking questions and then it just it put me to somewhere, and I was on hold for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just hung up on. I was like, I'm just gonna take him to the hospital. I'm like, yo, what if somebody was like robbing me, or if I was in a situation where like it was a matter of seconds? Like, what if my son was in a situation where it was life or death? Like, yo, we would have died.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
The situation I told you about when I called 911, somebody, it was a collision on 64 right there when you coming off the ramp of Indian River going towards
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Greenbrier,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So they must have hit each other, and I guess Buddy must have hit his head. So he got out the car and he walked like a couple steps, because we could see him walking onto the highway, and he hit the ground. Boom, head hit the ground.
Damn.
So then we slowed down. We attempting to stop highway traffic at that, right?
Yeah.
Then of course the people behind us start slowing down, so highway traffic stopped. He gets back up, attempts to walk again, hit the ground again. Boom. Damn. So then I was like, okay, either I thought he was drunk. I wasn't sure. But then once we saw like the full accident, as we got closer, we could see like it was definitely a bad collision.
Yeah.
So I called 911. 911 was like, please hold. I was like,
that's
what?
Crazy. They need to get more operators then.
Exactly.
Ain't no way. Look, that's the position where you got to overstaff. You need to overstaff that position.
And I remember one time when I was in my 20s, I took the test, and I guess you have to type like a certain amount of minutes per.
Probably taking notes.
Words per minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, at this point, if you put people on hold, it don't even matter. Even if they got errors, like, just let them do what they got to do. Because putting somebody on hold is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's tough. Like I said, my experience with that was crazy. Like, I was just like, yo. So I took my son to the hospital, but I was just like, yo, that's it. But yeah, that's been my last 2 weeks in a nutshell, man. It's been pretty cool, man. Like I said, this summer's done kind of kicked off, pretty well. So what about you? What you been up to?
Man, last week was so crazy. It was busy. So Monday I went out with a friend. And then on Tuesday, I had dinner with my friend and her friends, because one of them had came in from Ohio.
Okay.
And so we went to Cooper's Hawk. On Wednesday, we did the boat day. Mm-hmm. On Thursday, we did the skating.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, skating.
And Bryan, listen, I told y'all, Bryan thought he could skate better than me. He cannot skate better than me. He can skate faster than me.
I can
to
skate
a certain
better
extent.
Than Sofia, man. Like I don't understand.
We gonna drop the video.
We drop the video, because I don't understand. So what I think you think skating better is like dancing, moving, bobbing around.
That is skating better, right?
But that has, to me, that's just dancing. That's not skating. You know what I'm saying? That's dancing on skates. Oh. Like, skating to me is actually like skating around. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's how I look at it anyway. Okay.
So when I look at it, right, when I look at like somebody like Usher, right? You seen Usher skate before? Mm-hmm. Okay. He can skate. Like, he's really, really good. Mm-hmm. But part of him being really, really good is the fact that he can do like
I look at that as like an addition. I guess you look at that as like the main, like it's like a recipe. You look at that as like the main ingredient. I look at that as like an addition. That's how it is.
So, yeah, I don't look at it that way. Yeah. I mean,
because I think like you can be a really good skater, but maybe not necessarily like dance on skates or do that. That's how I look at it. But anyway, speaking of that,
we had a good time.
We had a good time. I tell you what, it was hot as I don't know what. And I'll tell you, I got a blister, like that night. And I remember like I woke up the next morning, man, I had like a nice little blister on my inside of my right foot, man. It was crazy. That joint hurt. Like, it really hurt. I just started feeling better like 2 days ago.
That's the reason why I have my own skates, because you never know what you're going to get with those skates.
Yeah. And for me, it was just...
And it's different from
I think what it was is because, we were skating for, at least I was skating for a long time. Like, I got there like at 5:30, I want to say, and started started skating immediately after that, maybe like 10 minutes after that. Yeah. And I didn't stop until like 7:30. So I skated pretty much nonstop for like 2 hours. True. And so I think just... In the heat, yeah. I think just going. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw.
I was just about to say that. Mm-hmm.
The skating ring going up for sale, Shaggy. Mm-hmm. He owned. I didn't even know Shaggy owned it. Matter of fact, too. That was crazy too. I didn't even know he owned Hey Good.
Shaggy, like the artist?
No. So locally, see, that's right. You're not from here. So locally, he's a really prominent radio figure. Shaggy is Z104. You probably heard of Z104 radio, right? No. Okay. Yeah. Z104 is like the prominent radio station here locally. Okay. And Shaggy's been DJing since I was in high school. There or whatnot. Yeah. So anytime an act would come through, they would always, come on the radio, and he's well known. He was a funny guy. Like, I think he might even did something at the Funny Bone as well. Like, but he's been like, everybody who's been here or from here locally knows who Shaggy is. And so yeah, he owns the skating, which I didn't know, and I saw his name attached to it when they were saying it's up for sale for like $3 million or something like that. I think it was.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, when we were there, like, the wood was on the skating floor was a little lifted.
I mentioned it to you. I was like, because I've been here. I had been to that skating rink plenty of times when I was younger, like, when I was probably like 15, 16 years old. And it looked like I was kind of, how sometimes you revisit a place you haven't been in a long time, you're starting to think like, I'm like, this looks literally the exact way it did.
Like they never did
like
25
upgrade. Years ago. Right? Like there's nothing has changed. Like I was like, it's crazy, but that's a problem. Like, nothing has changed in 25 years. So
then that's the reason why it's like how it is.
I got to look up and see when he bought it. I'm sure because skating was like more of a thing back then. He probably bought it back then in the heyday, and then it just kind of never really put much work into it. So.
Skating is fire though. They just got to promote it.
Yeah, but we have a lot of skating rinks here locally too, though, man. I think that's probably also another thing, man. It's
we got 4. Yeah,
it's like 4 or 5 skating rinks here locally, which I mean that's all within like maybe a 25 minute radius, which that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Because when growing up, we had 1.
Yeah.
We had 1 skating rink, and then we also got the beach. So whoever doesn't want to skate indoors, I mean, you can go to the boardwalk and skate. So
that's true.
I used to do that in Florida all the time, but me personally, I do rollerblades outside, and then I skate indoors.
Yeah, so I used to rollerblade a lot growing up outside too. I used to love that.
Yeah. It's actually really good exercise. Yeah. But so Thursday was that. Friday, I went to trap karaoke.
Okay, I saw people online.
Trap karaoke is super fun. So if you're a millennial,
first time.
Yeah, that was my first time doing it. If you're a millennial, I wouldn't say it may not be something for like. What's underneath us? Gen Zs? Like if you 25-ish. Unless you got a little soul in you, then maybe. But it's definitely for 30 plus. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And they played all the old school music. They even got into a little bit of gospel music, which I thought was hilarious, right? Mm-hmm. They had these signs. And the sign said little different things. So the sign that I had personally, it said... said, when you sing a solo in a black church and they holler, take your time, that typically means you messed up a little.
Yeah, that's accurate. I think that's an accurate assessment there.
So I thought that was hilarious, so I was holding that around.
Oh, wow, okay. So, like, when you walk through the door, they gave you signs?
Yeah, they gave you, free signs, free little... Like the fans when you in the church, but these said...
Had words on them.
Yeah, had words on them and stuff like that. And then on the other side, it said A-Y-E-E.
Oh, okay,
that.
Yeah.
And then they served pizza. And let me tell you how much this pizza. It was $7 a slice. I mean, and I was like, oh no.
Well, you said where was it at too? Where was the show? I mean, where was the trap karaoke?
Norva.
Oh, the Norva. Okay.
Yeah, it was at the Norva. So
the Norva don't got. I mean, you can get like a bar, but they don't really got food.
The pizza came from Chicho's
right behind it. Yeah, Chicho's is right behind it. So,
but I was like, no. So then we ended up going to Baxter's to eat. Yeah. And then after that, we went home. But then on Saturday, I went to Mount Trashmore and worked out. I think I did like 5 miles.
Okay. So you did have a busy week. Good.
And then I turned around and went out of town to RVA, and came back on Sunday. So it was like a crazy busy week.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So now I'm chilling. I'm chilling hard until I go out of town next weekend. Then I'll chill for a week, and then I go out of town again.
Yeah.
And to celebrate the B-Day. It's my birthday.
Oh yeah. So we'll now be, because you always say I'm older than you and all this stuff. So
I'll be your age.
we can now say that we're the same age.
Yeah. I was talking to Cavell, and he was like, "How Brian's older than you, right?" I said, "Yeah, he older than me."
Yo, that is like, to me, like, I feel like, and it's funny because Brooke, she even does this too. I mean, I do this, and she always gets on me when I say this, because I'm always like, I always associate people by like when they graduated, right? So, it's funny because she graduated a year ahead of me, but we're literally 2 months our age difference. So anytime there's somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, he's your age, or he's my age. She's like, we the same age. Like, why are you like saying we not the same age?
So now when I say it.
Yeah, so like that's why I'm like, you know what I mean? So literally
that's how you do.
Yeah. But I mean, but it's
you
like
Brooke in this situation.
I am. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying though is like,
You can't play both sides.
But the circumstances are different, though. The circumstances are different. No, because I'm not saying it from the standpoint of like, yo, you older, I'm younger, or vice versa. I'm just trying to reference a person's age. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So
she's literally 2 months older. You're like a whole 6-7 months older than me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you can't even have a baby in that amount of time. So to me, what I was going to say in a roundabout way is, to me, if you are within 9 months, basically the time that it takes to have an actual baby,
you can have a living child in 6 months.
Okay, now here are all these exceptions. I'm talking about a normal pregnancy.
Full term?
Yes, full term. Full term. If you are within that same age range, then you the same age to me. Like, y'all the same age, you know?
Okay. All right. Yeah. But,
so
you know you play both sides. You can't say...
I didn't say Brooke, I didn't.
you can't say Brooke in a different class and in a different age bracket because she's 2 months older than you. But then when I say it, you're like...
What year you graduated high school?
I graduated 05.
Okay. I graduated 05. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying is a little different. You know what I mean? Because I'm just saying how my mind goes, it automatically goes to like the year someone graduated high school. So if we in the same graduating year,
I don't even know how she should have been in our graduating class.
I think so too. But
because
she
moved around in October, right?
Yeah.
So in the States, I don't know where she was at, but she would have been in our graduating class.
Yeah, I mean she went to school like a lot of different states, man. She went to Japan, she was in school for a little bit, South Carolina, San Diego. So I mean, it probably just, you know how it is. Sometimes things get a little whatever. So I'm thinking that's probably what happened.
It's funny because I just got my daughter's high school transcript, and she's going into her junior year, and she only has 9 credits that she has to complete in order to graduate, which is crazy. Yeah. So she's going to be doing dual enrollment so she can try to shoot for her associate's degree. Yep.
That's good. Yeah, I was like that too. I remember it was funny because freshman and sophomore year was so hard because I took like a lot of AP and advanced classes, and then junior year I felt like wasn't as hard. Like it got a little bit easier. I felt like, you know, I was just used to the workload.
Got over the hump.
Yeah, I was used to the workload. So I remember it was funny because I had that same kind of option. I can't remember exactly how many credits it was, but I remember meeting with my guidance counselor during the end of my junior year, towards the end of my junior year, and she was like, hey, you know, you have only this amount of credits. Like, you can actually start getting ahead in college or whatnot. She was like, do you want to do that? Or do you want to like take like a lot of these like different elective classes? Bless you.
Thank you.
And so I remember I sat there, I was like, man, high school bitch, I would have ride this. I would have coasted my senior year. So I remember my senior year, I was taking just a whole bunch of just like, I took photography. I took like a whole bunch of just elective classes because I just didn't, I just wanted to relax. I wanted to enjoy that time because I felt like it was such a grind my first 2.5 years, man. So
yeah.
I understand. Especially playing like extracurricular. You know, it wasn't like I was just in school. Like I was, you know, playing football, basketball. Like every semester I was in some type of sport that kept me out of school till like 6 every day. So I was like, I'm gonna enjoy my senior year. I'm gonna get out early, everything.
So moving into mortgage related stuff, there's this thing, there's this topic that I want to talk about.
Okay. What you got?
So real estate agent commissions.
Okay. Yeah.
So buyers.
Okay.
When you are signing your buyer broker's agreement, you need to make sure that you have a full understanding as to what you are signing. And also you need to make sure that you have a full understanding as to who is paying for your real estate agent's commissions.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a situation where the buyer's agent presented the buyer broker's agreement. So they did the right thing. Nothing's wrong with that. You present the buyer broker, you let your buyer know that, hey, this is what I charge to represent you. Typically here in Virginia is 3%, and then there's some sort of admin fee for working the documentation, maybe paying a transaction coordinator and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's only one component. After that, your agent has to then also discuss with you, when it comes to that 3%, who's going to pay it? Are you paying this out of pocket? Is the seller going to cover this for you? And so forth. Well, in this particular situation, the real estate agent assumed that commissions could be rolled into the loan, in which that is not the case. When you have, or in particular, a VA loan, which I believe that's my specialty. That's a loan that I probably know the most, right? When you have a VA loan, you can't roll in commissions at all. In fact, up until last year or a year and a half ago when the whole NAR situation came out. It used to be where the VA buyer could not pay for any commissions, and it was solely responsible it was solely on the seller to be responsible to pay for the buyer's agent's commissions.
Yep.
But when NAR happened, that kind of put a burden on some of those VA buyers, because if the seller wasn't willing to pay, then that VA buyer couldn't buy the house because they weren't allowed to pay the commissions. So last year, June, the VA put a temporary statute out there saying, hey, we're going to allow, until the market changes, VA buyers to buy or pay the commissions of who is representing them. So that way they could compete and buy their homes. Yep. That does not mean that those commissions can be rolled into the loan. So you definitely need to make sure that you have a good understanding. And me as the lender, and I'm assuming B as well, we don't have anything to do with agent commissions. Nope. I don't negotiate agent commissions. I don't have anything to do with how you're paying your commissions, right?
Yep.
However, for all parties involved, it is important as a real estate agent to reach out to your lender and say, hey, do this person even have enough money to pay my commissions, right? Especially if the seller is not covering it. Correct. It's not my responsibility to make sure that you get paid. And vice versa. It's not your responsibility to make sure I get paid.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is, if that expectation is not set by the agent to the buyer and to all parties involved, then at the end, you're not going to get paid.
Exactly.
Or you're not going to get paid what you initially thought you were going to get paid. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that to me, I feel like sometimes people try to avoid doing those things because they feel like it's just going to be worked out on the back end. But sometimes if there's not a place for it to be worked out on the back end, then it just it's moved on. It's exit stage left. So
absolutely. And the part about that is that sometimes people look to place blame in certain places.
Yeah.
And I know that in some cases there may be situations where it may be the lender's fault. But in regards to commissions, that is never a lender's responsibility.
Correct.
When it comes to a real estate agent's commission.
Correct.
So, always as a buyer, make sure that you have a full understanding as to what you're signing. Make sure you have a full understanding as to who's paying what. Because ultimately, if there's a misunderstanding, there could be issues.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah. No, that's a good, I'm glad you brought that up, Sophia. That's actually some really good information out there that I think, those situations are probably going to honestly happen a little bit more frequently than what we've seen before, right? Especially with the change and, how it is, man. So I'm glad you brought that up. A couple things that I saw recently, mortgage real estate related. I have seen the big, beautiful bill that is looking to be passed any moment now. I know it went from the House to the Senate. Now it's back to the House. And so something that I did see that was pretty good, I guess, for like our investors and folks that dabble in like flipping homes or, building homes is that, 100% bonus depreciation is coming back. I know when I first got into, like flipping houses and building houses, that was the thing. And so when it comes to like any type of, upgrade, any type of improvement you do to a home, you can actually write that off 100%, which is really good. When it comes to like your bottom line and how much you owe for taxes for that year. They went away with that a couple years ago. With I think it was with Biden, with the administration, they came in and changed that. And so now, now we have a Republican president, that came back. So I'm actually excited about that.
Because it benefits you.
Yeah, it benefits me. I did hear there's some other, fallout and things that are going to change that's going to, hurt folks and, potentially hurt, myself as well. So I got to look deeper into that. But that is something that I did see someone sent to me. And I was like, oh, okay. That is something that, I can at least, use as my benefit.
Yeah. One of the things I saw that will affect a lot of people is healthcare.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely going to affect a lot of people with healthcare. So, although the bill can be beneficial to some, it can definitely be.
That's how it is. And any type of change, it's always where it helps somebody, but it hurts somebody else. That's why I'm cognizant of it, of like, hey, maybe in this circumstance, it may help me, but, at the same time, it could be hurting someone else and vice versa. So sometimes where changes hurt me, but help somebody else. So it's just one of those things where, I pay attention to it, be cognizant of it, and just, kind of take it with a grain of salt, really, as they say. Then also, I know today the jobs report came out.
I didn't even take a look at that yet.
Yeah. I was actually I had a whole bunch of phone calls today, man. I was looking at it, but I did see that. Excuse me. I did see that. Damn, my boy. I don't know. His gum kind of good. The gum took my voice. Yeah, the gum took my voice away for a second. But I did see that the jobs report came in like good in a sense of, not good for interest rates, but good in a sense for the economy. I was kind of reading into it a little bit more though, and it's funny how the information can be spewed in different ways. Where, like for instance, the unemployment numbers came in a little bit less than it was the month before, right? Mm-hmm. So that, kind of says like, hey, there's less people that are losing their jobs from the previous month to this, past month, right? Mm-hmm. And so that shows like the economy is, is doing well in that way. And then also I saw that when it comes to new jobs, there were, the jobs, the amount that was from the previous month, there was like, I think another 40,000 jobs that were added from the previous month to this month that just passed. But the funny thing about, I was looking kind of into that a little bit deeper, is that 80,000 of those jobs were government jobs, right? So, I mean, that really kind of skews that number a little bit, because that's not like, that's government funding, that's government jobs. That's not like true jobs being generated and started from, small business owners or businesses, mm-hmm. So that's a little bit different. So if you were to take those away, it's really not showing that the economy's, further pacing in a good direction. I mean, that was something that I saw. I was like, I just want to at least touch on that a little bit, because I felt like, sometimes people just get the big headlines, but if you actually kind of look a little bit deeper, sometimes it kind of tells it a little different of a story. So,
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. When you see things online or when you see things in the news, definitely fact check.
Yeah. Or just read further. I mean, a lot of times them headlines, man, they're there to just catch your attention.
Yes. Exactly.
But they know most people don't actually read further into it. Most people will look at a headline and then they'll go tell somebody about it. And that's not really the whole story, man. So you got to kind of look into, further what the information is saying. So, you can speak intelligently about what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, how did that affect rates?
Yeah. So initially, I know at least from when I got out in front of my computer, rates went down about an eighth. So it wasn't nothing crazy, but it did, have a tick down in a direction that we don't want it to go,
So when he says down, he means they got worse.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll look at red and green. Yes, we have a thing that we look at. So yes, when I say down, I don't mean down in a good way.
Yeah.
So they actually, and let me reverse
increased.
That. Yeah. So rates went up, about an eighth earlier this morning. So yeah, and they've been going down the last couple of weeks. So that just was a move in not the direction we wanted to go. So
okay. Yeah. So on another note, in real estate, me and a partner of mine, two partners actually, we went in escrow on a investment property. So we are currently in the middle of flipping a property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had our termite and moisture inspection yesterday, and we should be closing right before my birthday. So
okay.
A nice birthday gift, right?
There we go.
And then we'll begin renovations probably top of August.
So this is going to be a flip, you said?
Yeah, it's going to be a flip.
What city is it in?
It's in Newport News.
Okay, cool.
It's in the city where...
What?
It's on the other side of the water, so it's pretty far.
Yeah, the peninsula. Yeah.
But
hopefully cool. It's, we used to call it bad news. So hopefully it's not.
It's funny because I was about to say that, and I was like, nah, I shouldn't say that. Not with this flip.
Don't want to put that.
No, but the neighborhood does look, the neighborhood looks decent to me. I mean, I've been there quite a few times, doing these inspections and things like that. So I've been there quite a few times, and it looks okay. So the numbers work.
Okay.
So we're gonna do what we got to do.
Okay.
Now, in headline news, you saw the trial for Diddy.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I saw a headline, right? Mm-hmm. And the headline said that he was acquitted with the exception of prostitution.
Yeah, prostitution.
Or something like that, which gets him up to 10 years or something. Well, I don't know if he was sentenced, but it's something about 10 years. And then it said Diddy probably will be home tonight by 3 p.m. today. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a big range right there, right?
10 years to at home? Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I I don't know where it keeps coming up on my timeline, but you remember Judge Mathis?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, when I go on Instagram, it brings me through where like anytime that there's like a major event in that case, like he talks about it. He breaks it down from, an attorney standpoint. Not attorney, but a judge standpoint. So, he was talking about it like, hey, because Diddy, like you said, he was acquitted of 3 of the major charges, the RICO charges, the bigger ones. Still, still 2 felonies that are going to be that he was found guilty for, but they were on the lesser side of the charges that were presented. So it's crazy because from what Judge Mathis said, he was saying that most first-time offenders in these situations get about 18 to 24 months. Right. The sentencing is going to be held October 3rd is what they were saying. Diddy tried to get bail yesterday.
Oh, bail.
Yeah, okay. He tried to go ahead and get bail, but the judge did deny his bail. And so what Judge Mathis was like, what's going to happen? Because Diddy's been in jail already. I think it's 8 or 10 months so far. And so they said that what's going to end up happening, in his opinion, is once they have the sentencing in October, Diddy would have served a little over a year in jail at that particular time. And so, with him being a first offender in this particular, case that was put against him, they think that he's going to probably get out at that particular time and obviously have some type of stipulations along with it, different probation
for like 10
different
years.
things. Not being
ridiculous.
able to have certain parties and be around a certain amount of women at the same time and all these things like that he was kind of outlining.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
There's still going to be women that are going to participate in the bullshit.
100%.
Yeah, like
100% because he got money.
Yeah.
And that's just ultimately what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I did see that. I'm honestly not surprised. I've seen some people surprised about it, but it's hard from my understanding. Again, I'm not an attorney. This is just me being a person who looks at TV and just kind of reads the tea leaves and kind of really takes a deeper look at it. It's hard. The charges that they were trying to present him with, the feds came after him with, it's hard to really convict somebody in that manner because there's so many different variables around, because they were like, hey, he was running this big sex trafficking enterprise. And it's just hard to say and pinpoint it without a shadow of a doubt saying that that's what he was doing. You know what I mean?
He could have just been
he could have just been messing around with them. You know what I mean? He was, doing some little bit of extortion as far as bringing people, probably not extortion, but prostitution. Like, I can understand
you're paying them.
Yeah, you paying them. And then he was having like his assistants try to cover for him and pay for certain things and kind of really have it rolling. But it's hard to say that that was the sole reason of what was going on. Like,
Correct.
I think there's you can put doubt into that when it comes to a jury's mind. So, but yeah, so that's what ended up happening. That just came out yesterday, actually. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So what you got coming up?
Coming up, tomorrow is the 4th of July. So I'm excited about that.
You barbecuing?
I don't know, man. Probably not. So okay. I initially thought I was. Surprise. Yeah, I know. Initially, I thought I was. We were talking about it. But what I'll probably end up doing is, so tonight, Chesapeake's always a day ahead of the 4th of July. I don't know why they do it that way, but that's just what they do. I guess maybe like for traffic or people, all not going, at the same place, same time or whatever. But I know tonight they're doing fireworks at the city park. So I'll probably take the kids out there, man. They enjoy watching fireworks. We did it last year, and they had a good time. It's just, it starts so late, man. That's the only thing I don't like about it. It normally don't start till like 9:30, which, I mean that's what time it gets dark.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm just like, it's just late. I'm just like, I'd rather be at the crib, you know what I mean? So, I'll probably do that with the kids tonight. And then tomorrow, Greenbrier Country Club, they always do, that's why I love having a membership there, man. They always do stuff festive. So they have like a big, like pool, there's a pool there, have a big like pool foam party, face painting. They're gonna do like DJ and music and fun games and things of that nature for the kids and for adults. So it's pretty much an all day thing from 10 to 6, I believe it is. So I'll probably stop by there and hang out. A couple of my friends are members there, so we kind of talked about potentially going up there.
Yeah.
So that's what I got going this weekend. Saturday, I'll probably try to get down to the beach though as well. Try to get down to the ocean front.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. What about you?
So I don't have any plans for tomorrow. I initially was going to be going to my good friend's house. She and her significant other were going to be throwing something, but I guess they're not anymore.
Okay.
So I probably go to the beach maybe. I don't know. I really don't plan on doing anything real big. So
yeah.
I'll try to probably bring a go out there about 5 and kind of like ride it out till the fireworks come.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then outside of that, Saturday I don't really have nothing going on. Me and the girls are going to get together on Sunday.
Okay.
And when I say girls, like my good girlfriends in the area, we have plans on Sunday. And then outside of that, I mean, back to the hustle and bustle, trying to get these loans closed.
Yeah, I got a yeah, that's what's up, man. We gotta. You should maybe like video the whole process of it, man. Like have like show yourself closing on it, and then actually show the whole beginning to end.
Yeah,
and we can even put some footage on. Here on the podcast. I mean, that's just an idea,
Yeah, I wanted to barbecue, but my barbecue grill is shitty. Y'all listen. You know what barbecue grill I got? Y'all know the old school red one with the red top with the lid.
Oh, yeah, that's real old school. Yeah.
Cause I had 2 other barbecue grills and they went bad, and it wasn't my fault as to why they went bad, but they went bad. And so then I went. Well, actually, no, I didn't go get it. My cousin went and bought me the little $50 joint, and it works. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it do.
It works.
It do. I remember I used to have that was when I first moved out when I had that grill. Yeah, I didn't graduate to many grills.
Right.
Past that now.
No, I literally upgraded and it came back down. It was like I was here, and then
back down.
Yeah, I had to start over. So maybe I'll get one for my birthday.
There you go. Yeah, I got a golf trip coming up. I didn't mention that earlier as far as coming up. I got that. It's a little less than 2 weeks now, so I'm looking forward to that. Fellas, we starting to talk a little shit to each other. Last year I won it. This year we got somebody else coming. Matter of fact, the guy Malcolm.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he wanted to come this time.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. That's down in Kiawah Island in South Carolina, man.
Carolina, okay.
Yeah, so that should be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to that.
I see that they have like a Black Golf Week or something like that.
Yeah, in Miami. Yeah.
Seems pretty cool.
Yeah. That is, see, it's always tricky though. So stuff like that, man, like it's going to be around Labor Day. It's like Labor Day weekend. And it's tough to kind of go that far when my kids are getting ready. My kids' schools already started then. So it's tough to kind of maneuver going that far away for Labor Day when, we kind of back in school mode at that time. So, but I'm going to try to maybe check that out one of these times, man. A couple of my buddies have been down there. They said it was a good time. So
I mean, it looked like it. And then, of course, you get to be around people who, obviously, if you're playing golf, you're in that area, everybody's doing the same thing. It doesn't seem like they may have after parties and other stuff to do, but actually on the golf course, I would think that people are golfing. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I mean, he said it's just good networking. Yeah. Like I said, matter of fact, my buddy Chris, the one that did the boat. Yeah. He went down there last year, and he's going again this year. Matter of fact, too.
It's a good time.
He invited me. I just told him, man, I couldn't. That Labor Day, man, it's just tough
because
of school and kids, bro. So. I'll end up trying to get with them soon. I know
it's tough for me. I mean, your kids are already in school though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not that bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the hard part because they're just getting into the how that beginning the first week or two of school is always hectic. It's like the last week of August. It's literally the week that leads up to that.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just always hard. Yeah, it's always just hard navigating that because that first week or two of school is always an adjustment. It's always tough. And I wouldn't feel right going out of town and then leaving my wife just kind of to fend for all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that's just a hard time to get away and travel.
We need more men to think like you, baby.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. It was.
We got to do the one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one gotta go. Yep. R&B edition.
Yep.
All right. So we got 4 songs, and out of these 4 songs, one has to go.
And I'll let y'all know that this is Sophia's job to come up with this, and she failed miserably at this today. So I actually had to come up with this. So just want to make sure y'all understand that. Go ahead.
So, I mean, that's okay. You came up with these songs.
Yeah.
So when people comment and say that these songs are crappy, you know why. Okay. All right.
We'll say that.
Mm-hmm. So the very first song is Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk?
Classic. Love that song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I real life felt those words. Cause I was growing up, I want to talk to a girl and I didn't know how to say or what words to say. So I felt everything Tevin said in that joint. Go ahead. Yep.
Music Soul Child, Love.
My heart quivered when you said that. Dang. Okay.
Okay. Tyrese, Sweet Lady.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Tyrese been bugging out lately, but yeah, that's a classic song. Yep. On the train. Yep.
John B, They Don't Know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's classic too, man. Everybody's like, that's a white boy singing like that.
I didn't know who he was when I was a kid until I saw him.
Everybody was like, hold on, what?
No, he got
you heard the radio,
He's trying to make up his
trying to justify. He got
like he got his hair laid.
Yeah, he got 5%. You know what I'm saying? His cousin's uncle's sister. Yeah, she was a sister. You know, took it back, right?
His granddaddy was mixed.
Yeah. All right. So for me, so people who know me, Musiq Soulchild is literally my favorite singer of all time. It's neo soul, so it's not like true R&B, but Musiq Soulchild to me is the golden singer, man. Like the CD catalog he's come out with, man. I just think he's amazing, and I love the range that he can sing. So music, the song "Love," that's over here. That's safe.
Yep.
All right, number two, like I kind of mentioned it, I kind of referenced it. Can We Talk? Tevin Campbell. Love that song. Classic. I real live felt that the anxiousness, seeing a girl you like, somebody that you thought was cute, you want to say something, you didn't know how to put the words together. That first impression was everything. So I felt like that was and I feel like nobody really made songs about that for us. So that was like really, really cool, right? That's number two. So it comes down to Sweet Lady and it comes down to They Don't Know, right? And I'll say for me, the song that's going to have to go is Sweet Lady. Okay. I like Sweet Lady. I like Tyrese. But They Don't Know, to me, classic. Like you said, I remember, finding out, he not black. Like, just the whole aura of that song, the words in that song. I just think that hits harder. And I think Sweet Lady, I'll have to, say that's the one I have to get rid of. So what you got? So, I think we 3-4 in a row? What we at? 3-4 in a row? Are we at 5? Whole 5? Where we at?
All right. So when it comes to the 4 songs, Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk, Soulchild, Love, Tyrese, Sweet Lady, and John B, They Don't Know. First and foremost, Musiq Soulchild. What you say? He going over there.
Yeah, he's safe.
He's safe.
He's safe. Yeah.
Yeah, that song will forever be. I mean, that's a classic. Like that will go down.
Oh yeah.
Even like my kids know that song.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So that's gonna always be a classic. My second runner-up is Tevin Campbell. Can We Talk?
Oh, so okay. You got the same order that I do.
Same order. Okay. So same order. And my third is John B. So Tyrese has to go.
Oh, for real? Mm-hmm. Oh, Sweet Lady. Okay.
Sweet Lady. All right,
I'm surprised. Okay.
Yeah. Sweet Lady definitely has to go. Now I will say this.
What's the reasons though? What's the reason for it? For you?
Honestly, when it comes to individually these songs, I'm not gonna base it on the artist because John B really wasn't.
Yeah. He was kind of.
As far as catalog goes,
like a one-hit wonder.
Is better. He has a way more hits.
Yeah.
But when we individually talk about these songs, if I'm listening to my playlist, and you know how sometimes like you make a playlist and be like, we're gonna skip. Even though you made the playlist, you're like, you're gonna skip that song.
For sure.
I'm gonna skip Sweet Lady.
I agree.
I'm gonna listen to Tevin Campbell. I'm gonna listen to Musiq Soulchild first, then Tevin, then John B, and Tyrese will probably be at the end. It'll be a few more songs in between before I listen to Sweet Lady.
I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's why. Okay. That's good. That's like 5. Give me a 5. I think that was 5 in a row.
5 out of 5.
4 or 5. Yeah, that's what's up.
There we
go. Like we started off on rocky grounds, but now we're trending in the right direction. So that's good. That's good.
All right, guys. Well, we do appreciate you listening to the podcast. You can follow me on social media at I am Sofia KB.
Yep, you can follow me on Instagram or Facebook, and it's Bryan, BRYAN _Royster.
And you can follow the podcast at Let's Talk BS PC.
Yep. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.